Today on Monkey Life, Vet Day for some of the smaller primates at the park, and there are concerns for Nellie the loris.
She's got a mass in her abdomen, Alison.
Newly arrived female chimp Sasha gets to know some of Brian's group, but isn't so keen on her son Kangu doing the same.
It just doesn't really go anywhere because Sasha will just have a tantrum in the back and that... similar to that.
And how do you tackle this? Gibbon Tio eventually cracks the problem. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Hi! Look at that. Oh, he's fantastic.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. It's the start of a long day for the small monkey team. 3 of their primates need to be examined by the vet.
You've got a monkey. You've got a monkey.
First up is squirrel monkey Nueve.
In a relatively short time, a lump sort of came up on her shoulder. And actually, when you sort of shave it off, it looks perhaps a whole lot more dramatic than it is, but it's quite a substantial lump. And they're going to investigate and see if it's easy enough to remove. So it's a good thing. She's she's in beautiful condition otherwise, but she's just got this thing on her shoulder.
It's pretty soft, isn't it?
Nueve arrived at the park from Chessington Zoo 5 years ago. She's still young and normally a picture of health. So when the lump suddenly appeared, the team were puzzled. They're hoping wildlife vets Nick Masters and Rowena Killick, along with local vet David Holler, can clear up the mystery. An ultrasound may help.
It's not pus, is it? No. It's a proper lump of some sort. Do you think we should try and just take that off, the whole thing?
The lump has been increasing in size, so the decision is made to remove it. It's a tricky operation requiring a delicate hand. The skin must be cut and peeled back from the lump, and Rowena has to be careful not to cut through a major blood supply when making the incision. Nueve's vital signs are closely monitored throughout. Thankfully, the procedure doesn't take too long and the lump is successfully removed.
It just looks like homogeneous fat, so I think the only thing of concern is just that Rowena had to work quite hard to pull it away from the muscle, from the body wall, which seems a bit unusual, but fingers crossed that's all it was.
The lump will be sent off to a laboratory for analysis. The team hope it will be reported back as benign. In the meantime, Nueve's wound is stitched and she's put into her warm travel box to recover. Once they're sure she's stable, the team will return her to the squirrel monkey house to be monitored and recover. But for the vet team, the day is just getting started. Next up is a pair of lorises, and they too have mysterious lumps needing investigation. Bruce is first. His condition, a lump on the side of his face, has been ongoing for 4 years. He's been examined on numerous occasions and had multiple biopsies and tests, but the lump keeps recurring.
It has increased again in size, so we're going to take a closer look today and decide what our next steps might be. But I think what we're going to try and do today, we'll get some really good pictures, we'll get some good ultrasound images, hopefully, and we'll have a sort of case to present to a specialist that could come and help us do the surgery, if nothing else.
Bruce doesn't appear to suffer any distress from the presence of the growth, but the team would like to get to the bottom of it once and for all. A paediatric ear, nose and throat consultant has offered to take a look and advise what could be done. X-rays, ultrasounds and blood samples are taken in preparation.
It's not much of a lung field, is it? It's quite different.
The images and results will be sent to the expert in the hope an answer can be found. 2 down, 1 to go. And it's another loris. Nellie arrived just under a year ago from a collection in Cornwall. Not much is known about her background, but she's thought to be around 18 years old and had been living on her own for a few years. The team have noticed she's been a bit under the weather in the last month, and her mobility has deteriorated. When Nick gets his first look at her, he immediately finds something of concern.
It's hard to know if that's attached to anything underneath. It's certainly very thickened, the skin around it as well. And it doesn't look just like a classic abscess, does it, Rowena?
No.
It looks like a sort of mass of tissue. It could be a little tumour of some sort. You have a little anaesthetic check on her if you want to.
A recent injury may have caused the issue, but when Nick checks Nellie's abdomen, he finds something else.
She's got a mass in her abdomen, Alison.
It's not looking good for Nellie.
Best option was that she was constipated, but we don't think that's the case, and we're checking to see what kind of, whether she has a reproductive tumor or something like that. So not a good sign, but we'll see what we can do about it.
When Nick performs an ultrasound, there's more bad news.
So it's a stone or a mass in the bladder.
And X-rays reveal another problem.
What's going on with her pelvis? It looks more like an infection or a tumour to me. It's proper lysis of the bone.
Alison wants to give the elderly loris every chance.
I would be inclined to open her up and see if there's anything obvious or if it's just a disaster and then we call it.
But before the vet team can start the surgery, Nellie stops breathing. It means a tough decision for the team.
Might be gone now anyway, if so.
Oh, she's not breathing. Still got a heart and she just stopped breathing. So we'd have to breathe for her if we want to do that. And we would just turn all that off, just the oxygen.
Yeah. Okay.
Call it a day?
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Stop.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's the right call. Nellie's examination revealed multiple serious medical conditions.
Some problems with her pelvis that looks really unusual. There's problem with her reproductive tract. And we decided that the only fair thing to do with those masses as well was to say it's end of days for her, sadly.
It's not the outcome Alison and the team hoped or prepared for. It's a new day at the park, and the trio of spider monkeys are in for a challenging treat this morning. Toby is placing large hanging feeders in their enclosure. The team have successfully used these in the past with the capuchins and the nursery orangutans. But the 3 spider monkeys aren't known for their enthusiasm when it comes to trying something new.
Our 3 can be a bit lazy sometimes, particularly Pumpkin. She likes her food very much, so we're hoping that the motivation of getting the food and will make her sort of do a bit of work and display some natural behaviours, really. And it'll be interesting to see how they react, really.
The group have been together for many years and generally get on well. But when it comes to food, there's a strict hierarchy.
Pumpkin is very much dominant, and when it comes to food, she is effectively a hoover. She will demolish everything, which is why we try and put it in enrichment, particularly in the morning. Otherwise, she will come out and eat it all before the boys even get a sniff. Flint is next in line, but because he's generally scared of everything, it takes him a while to come in. So that gives Hickory a chance to come and have a look as well. So we've got the 3 boards, so I'm hoping by spreading them out, hopefully that will keep them engaged for longer. So hopefully it'll be more of a challenge for them.
The slides to the outdoor enclosure are opened, and the trio quickly head through the tunnel. But if the spider monkeys are anticipating easy pickings this morning, they're in for a surprise. Toby's trying to find that fine balance, keeping them busy and active and motivated enough to attempt the hanging boards, while not over-challenging them in the knowledge that spider monkeys don't have the longest attention span. To this end, he's made sure retrieving the rewards from the Kongs isn't too difficult. Spider monkeys are perfectly adapted to life in the trees. They have long limbs and a prehensile tail, which, like the woolly monkeys, acts as a fifth limb. It means their hands and feet are free to manipulate food from otherwise hard-to-reach places. They eat a mainly fruit and leaf-based diet. Today's breakfast is aimed at encouraging plenty of natural behaviours. Hickory, the old man of the group, tends to hang around picking up food the other two have dropped.
Hickory hasn't really had a go yet. He's been over and had a laugh at them. But to be honest, Hickory has to police the enclosure, really, and he's been quite busy telling everyone off and making sure everyone knows their place, really. But I'm sure at some point, particularly once the other two have gone, that he'll go and have an investigate and find some bits and pieces. So, yeah, that's not really a surprise with Hickory. That's sort of what we expect from him.
As usual, Pumpkin is at the front of the queue for food, monopolising the boards. She's dominant in this trio and loves to get stuck in. But with plenty of Kong boards spread around the enclosure, she can't get to all of them first. Flint is also fired up. Perfectly balanced and suspended, he's definitely got a liking for honey.
It's gone really well. It's definitely something we can use again. We're seeing some really good natural sort of behaviours, and Pumpkin and Flint are both suspending themselves completely by their tails, and then they're having to use sort of the muscles in their arms and legs and their core to sort of balance themselves because the boards move as well. So, yeah, it's really good.
The feeders have proved to be a hit and been an excellent whole body and mind workout for the spider monkeys. They're certain to make a reappearance at the Spider Monkey House in the future. It's 3 weeks since the park welcomed Sasha and Kangu, the two chimps Alison and Jeremy collected from Buenos Aires Eco Park in Argentina. Life for the pair has changed dramatically, and the primate care staff have been working hard to settle them into their new home. It's important they get to know and trust their carers, and, in time, their new housemates.
Kangaroo? Yeah, come on. Yeah, we love the milk, don't we? Yeah, you're a good man. That's nice, isn't it? Save some for the others, though, yeah? Bri, Sash, Nari. Do you want some? Are you all gone? Yes, I know, sweetheart. There you go.
Chimp introductions are always tricky and potentially dangerous. So far, the meetings with Brian's group have been a baptism of fire for the pair. Particularly for 15-year-old male Kangu.
So at the moment, he's not been massively involved with the intros because basically his mum won't let him. We have tried him at the mesh with Brian and Nari, and it just doesn't really go anywhere because Sasha will just have a tantrum in the back, and that... Similar to that. Sasha will have a tantrum in the back bedrooms when they're separated, and just he's too upset by her kicking off in the back bedrooms that he doesn't interact with anyone. So for now, we're just focusing on just Sasha, getting her some really tight bonds with Brian and Nari so that we can eventually start bringing Kangu into the mix, and ideally she won't object to them being friends with him by that point.
The chimp team's efforts to get Sasha acquainted with leader Brian and female Nari are paying off. For the last few days, they've been spending a lot of time together, and relationships are progressing well. This morning, Sean is giving the trio a fruity treat of frozen blueberries. A specially designed feeding station in the roof allows Sean to drop the scatter feed into the playroom below.
Past couple of days, putting Brian, Nari and Sasha all together, put them in a big area and can't just leave them for the day. Can't throw in lots of foods and even high value stuff just to see how they cope with one another, if they're happy feeding around one another. And yeah, there's not been any issues. They've not been super intense with one another. There's been a bit of playtime, a bit of grooming, but mainly they're quite happy just lounging around each other, which has been quite nice, really. So yeah, hopefully next step is to try and bring the young man into the mix.
It's been a difficult few weeks for Kangoo. He's been unable to take part fully in introductions because his mum, Sasha, isn't keen on her son being separated from her to meet the others. Her reaction is very disruptive and causes him stress, meaning his opportunity to integrate with the group has been put on hold.
Kanga man! You any more, buddy? You just gonna sulk in the corner? You want some? Yeah. We'll get you involved at some point. He's not terribly good socially, so I don't think he really knows massively how to be a chimp, really. When it comes to approaching the others, he's a bit much, but that could be just down to Sasha's reactions making him then overreact. But yeah, physically, he is a bit smaller than I'd expect a male of 15 to be. You know, mobility-wise, he's not exactly the most graceful boy in the world either. I do wonder whether there might be some sort of physical problem there. I mean, it could just be that he hasn't built up his muscles, because where they were before, the climbing frame wasn't the biggest, so he's not had much opportunity to really exercise. So yeah, we want to make sure, give it the best chance of working out, and right now I think the best chance of working out is hopefully making Sasha friends with both parties, and then hope she'll be a peacemaker between them when we do eventually start bringing him in with the others. I'm fairly confident. I mean, he seems quite a nice guy. Brian's an absolute sweetheart, so fingers crossed they work out all right. I think meeting Rodders might be a bit of a shock to his system.
Brian is the largest in the group and the dominant male. He's a big and impressive-looking chimp, but when it comes to introductions, he's a gentle giant.
He's a superstar. Every intro I've seen him in, he's just been wonderful. He just goes in. I think he can be a bit intimidating. He doesn't quite realise how big he is, and so he just charges in there, just being like, "Oh yeah, we're friends now," and just doesn't think, "Oh, this might be quite scary for that new person." Particularly with Sasha, you can see he went in and grabbed the leg and was kind of swinging it around, and he's having a wonderful time, but she's a bit like, "Oh my God, he's attacking me." But yeah, no, he's so nice, and he does really just want to make friends with everyone.
The introductions will continue, their pace dictated by the chimp's reactions and welfare. It may well be a long, slow process, but the team are hopeful that in the end, they'll have one happy, harmonious group. With more than 260 primates to look after all year round, feeding time needs careful planning. The 25 species all have different dietary requirements, and they all need to be kept busy and active. The gibbon team are up to the challenging task, regularly coming up with interesting ways to enrich the lives of their primate charges. Today, primate care staff member Sean has devised a rather different hanging feeder for golden-cheeked gibbon Tio.
He's a very intelligent boy, so we're trying to get some enrichment that will actually make him work a little bit harder for. So there's some paper mache, and we're filling it with some little parcels. Within the parcels, there's dates, some nuts, and some popcorn. We've tied them up in a knot just to make it more difficult, and hopefully it'll just take him a little bit longer to get his enrichment for the day.
11-year-old Tio is one of the gibbons at the park displaying the most natural behaviours. He was reared by his parents, Peanut and Pung Yo, and grew up in the wonderful tree-filled enclosure they call home, along with older siblings Tien and Tia Nang.
He's a real handsome, full-grown, beautiful specimen of man. He really is lovely. He's got a wonderful personality. He's very laid back, he's very chilled, very easygoing kind of guy. And obviously because he's also young, very fit and agile, we try and give him a little bit more sort of stimulus with the different kind of puzzles and things as well, just to keep him busy and active, because he really is a very happy and full on energy kind of guy.
He's currently living on his own while the team try to find him a suitable partner. Today's hanging feeders are aimed at keeping him happy, busy and stimulated. Tio comes flying out, but the bright orange feeders hanging all over his enclosure leave him perplexed. They've been designed to spike his curiosity and give his brain and body a good workout. It certainly got him thinking, where on earth is breakfast? But he's a clever gibbon, and it's not long before he's ripping open one of the papier-mâché feeders. His long arms and slender fingers reach in easily and pull out the hidden parcels. Problem 2. The nuts and dates are wrapped in material. But Tio takes little time to open them and tuck into his morning meal. He's on a roll, methodically working through the feeders, demonstrating perfect balance on the hosing, and all the while remaining above ground.
Gibbons are really well adapted to life in the treetops. They would rarely ever come down to the ground in their natural environment. So they're used to having to work with their whole body up in those trees. And what you'll tend to see is that gibbons will hang by one hand, they'll use their other hand and their feet to obtain different treats. They'll then gather them up and then maybe sit down on the branch to actually eat them, or just carry on hanging from one hand and use that other hand to feed with. So again, it's just a way of getting him using as much of his body and interacting with things and doing something up high as well.
In the wild, gibbons mainly eat fruit and leaves, but supplement their diet with insects, eggs, and even small animals. A tough outer skin proves no problem. Their razor-sharp canines easily crack open tough shells, like today's offering of nuts. There's enough papier-mâché feeders to keep Tio interested all day long. And, as he's on his own, he can come and go as he pleases. Next time on Monkey Life. Orangutan Sylvester undergoes a complex top-to-toe health check in preparation for graduating from the nursery and moving to a new home in Switzerland.
We've got a chair set up that we will put him into so that we can get the chest x-ray that they want.
And a playpen of pine cones. Gizmo's group gets stuck in.